Hey.
Take your plate up to this box over here so that
I'd like to have a brief
then you'll get seated. We'll go ahead and finish up this program. In the kitchen, a real big round of applause. Thank you. Very good.
Dirty dishes all right there.
Okay, Randy, would you come up and he's going to give us a tribute to Thomas Eisenhart.
What's the difference over there?
I didn't know about Carol called me and asked me to do this. And once, twice, Reed sent me some information that I wasn't aware of. Tommy's quite a person. Look at read some things here in a minute. I wish I was half the person Tommy. Do some things. I'm going to read you Tommy's obituary, these things I'm going to tell you about. This is out of the obituary. Thomas K. Eisenhart, 60 of Parkersburg, died September 28, 1999 at his home. Thomas was born in Cedarville, Gilmer County, West Virginia, son of Ernest and Gladys Eisenhart. He was a graduate of Normantown High School in 1957, Glenn State College with a BA in Communications, and his MA from West Virginia University. Thomas taught 3 years at Franklin Junior High and then transferred to Parkersburg South High School, where he was currently teaching. Thomas was listed in Duty Steward of American Teachers in 1996. He was recognized by the Cook County Board of Education for his outstanding speech and debate teams. Thomas also served as a mentor teacher in Wood County. I don't know if I did that or not. There we go. I know some of you here are school teachers, have been school teachers. And my family, most of them are school teachers. I couldn't be one, bless your hearts. That happened far within the country. But Tommy was a school teacher. And he sent a letter to Carol. Carol, I used this. I want you to listen to this real close. 1957 to 1960, worked in Normantown High lost Milton. 1960 to 64, student at Cleveland State College. 64 to 72, worked at the Library of Congress in the copyright office as supervisor, writer, editor. 73 to 74, completed his college degree in speech, English, and language arts at Cleveland State College. That's quite complimentary. I didn't do that. He had just to do it. 1974 to 1978, taught English at Normantown High School. He was active in the Actors Guild and Part2. 1978 to present, and I think that's 1997 from him. Taught speech and debate at Part2 South High School. He coached the speech and debate and directed the plays. Pay real close attention to this. In August of 1980, he got Brett as a culture job. October 1980, same year he got Jeff. February of 81, he got Crystal. Then in 81, he adopted Jeff. In 82, he adopted Brett. Then he said, this is what happened up to the present. For the Memorial Day, I've been in Buffalo, New York, 9 of my students competing in the Catholic National Speech and Debate Tournament. And I'm sorry that I would miss everything. Over the years, I've seen Norman Prairie son, and have seen Randy Moore's father once or twice. As to what will be happening in the future, the last of June, 1st of July, we donated kidneys to my sister, who has complete kidney failure. Then I will be taking life easy for summer, because I would quit my part-time job to deal with brothers' clothing. Donnie was doing all this, raising these foster kids. And he's working part-time job while to do that. This is some things that happened at home. I don't go back. Tommy lost his son, I think in October, with a massive heart attack. In March 1997, we lost his mother. 4 months later, in July of 1997, he lost another son, cancer. Then just 2 months after that, in September of 1997, he lost his wife and part of his mother. There's 4 people there in this family. Tommy and his first wife, and 33 years shared their home with 18 foster children and 2 foreign exchange students, plus their own 4 children. I don't think many of us done that. That's going through some pictures. I think Carol had this in the book. But I found this. Dr. Tommy gave this. I see you here. He wrote on the back of this. He said, Randy, you are a real friend. You have helped me a lot, and that will pay you. That brought back a lot of men. Then, he said, Tommy told Carol that he hoped for a big reunion in 2002. It'd be great to see all of you. I wish you was here to do that. And thank you for letting me do this.
I'm like George, I'm kind of nervous up here. Yeah. Started my school together, one year there was 24 seats for one room school, 25 kids. So Ron and I said, same seat. All winter. tree climbing, went out to go to school. And recess and them fun in school, you just get out and make wood. And there's trees there, to see how many kids take to make tree climbing, and all the way to the ground. So, there were 25 kids out there, sometimes when they 15 of them on my tree, we didn't make it to the ground. I know long before the district, I like to say that, catch up all the time and everything. I just want to say again, all my very good friends.
There was one other thing I wanted to mention about Ronald. The very morning that I got the phone call that he died, I went to the mailbox and there was a form telling me he was coming to our meeting. I mean, it just gave me the chills because that very morning I got word that he passed away. And maybe
Carol asked me to say a few things about our deceased teachers and our principal. It's been a long time and I didn't have access to some of the obituaries, so I tried to come up with a few things about each one that might be interesting or bring back some memories. Some people come into our lives and quickly go. Some stay for a while and leave footprints on our hearts. The 1957 graduating class of Normantown High School wishes to remember our former teachers and principals who have since departed this life, but certainly left their footprints on our hearts. The teachers include James Murphy. I'm really emotional. James Murphy, Earl Tex Gaynor, Eugene Lowe, P.R. Roberts, Robert Bob Murphy, and Arthur A.J. Moore. He was our principal. James Murphy will be remembered as one of our class sponsors. He always had a big smile for us and often a little joke. Mr. Murphy, was born in 1920 and lived near Glenville. He graduated from Glenville State College. Mr. Murphy first taught at Normantown High School, where he was social studies teacher. He also coached basketball and baseball. In 1942, he was in the Army and was a prisoner of war in Germany for 8 months. He was awarded the Purple Heart and 2 battle scars. After his discharge in 1945, Mr. Murphy taught at Normantown High School from 1946 until 1957. After ending his teaching career, Mr. Murphy served as director of the Calhoun County Welfare Department. He remained in that position until his death in July 1963. Mr. Murphy was married to the former Cora Taylor and the father of 2 children, a son James and daughter Judith. Another one of our teachers, Robert Bob Murphy. We remember him as Bob. Mr. Murphy will be remembered by the 1957 graduating class as our math teacher, wearing the all-important sweater and flat coat. Bob Murphy lived in the Glenville area along the Ohio River. He liked to farm. Mr. Murphy died in July 1985. Eugene Lowe was our very pleasant, very patient typing teacher. He also taught bookkeeping, shorthanded journalism. We can all recall the fun we had on those old manual typewriters in Mr. Lowe's class. Paul R. Roberts, lovingly called PR by the students, will be remembered, especially by us girls of the 1957 class as the best-looking English teacher ever. The guys all thought we were eager to get to his class to study literature. like James Murphy, Mr. Roberts left Normantown High School at the end of the 1957 school year. He relocated to Florida. Mr. Roberts was the father of 1 child, his son Kevin, who has made a video of PR's life, and he's made that available to Carol, and she has it available for anybody that wants to see it. Mr. Roberts passed away on May 28, 1991. Another teacher is Earl Tex Gaynor. He will be primarily remembered by the 57 graduating class for his accomplishments at Normantown High School as an athlete and coach. Mr. Gaynor was also our civics teacher, as well as the boys' physical education teacher. Mr. Gaynor was a member of the Normantown High School state champion basketball team in 1945. He was honored as the regional retired coach of the year in 1987. Mr. Gaynor taught Normantown High School from 1951 through 1965. He retired from the Calhoun Gilmer Career Center as director in 1988 with 40 years of service in education. He served 2 years in the U.S. Army from 1946 to 1948. Tex Gaynor was married to Neva Lynn Ellison. Their only child, a son, Earl Mark, is a pharmacist in Bridgeport. Mr. Gaynor died on January 2, 1990, of a massive heart attack. Last, but certainly not least, we remember our dear principal, Arthur J. Moore, better known to some students as A.J. We did not get to know Mr. Moore very well, as we were all scared of him. He was always very professional and gave the appearance of being very firm, but that is what it took to keep us in line. Mr. Moore was our classmate Lois's father, but he showed no favoritism towards her or the school average. Mr. Moore taught school at Sanford and Normantown High School. He also served as principal at Troy as well as Normantown High. Mr. Moore retired from the Gilmer County Board of Education with 3 years of service. Prior to his teaching career, Mr. Moore was a field director for the American Red Cross during World War II, stationed at the Naval Base in Pensacola, Florida. Mr. Moore remained active up to the day of his death. He was active in politics and served on many state boards. Mr. Moore enjoyed hunting and fishing and spent considerable time traveling, especially enjoying the Smoky Mountains. He was also a staunch supporter of the West Virginia University Mountaineers. Mr. Moore died on December 7, 1981.
First, I'd just like to say it's good to be home. For those of you that don't live out of West Virginia, you have no idea how good it feels to get home. Sometimes we come back to Ohio because I don't know whether most of you know or not, I really don't have any close family here. I have one first cousin, a lady that's like my second mom, and they have to put up with me when I come down here. So they have to feed me and everything. So I don't get down here always, but whenever I do, that's home. This kind of came together as a dream. I did about probably close to a year ago, I did all of our pictures as a then, how we were in 1957. And I sent it out to Carol, I sent to several of the girls. And I just thought, well, I want to share this with you because it's just something that I like to do. And then I thought, well, wouldn't it be fun if we did this reunion and I did a now page? So I got that together, and then I thought, well, to finish it off, because I'm a family history buff, I had to add the families, because I had to show you guys what lovely grandchildren I have. So that's why I made the book. I have all these beautiful grandchildren, and I have a bone to pick with Blair because he sent his pictures last. And I have to tell you that the Lord did an attitude adjustment because when I got him, I said, first of the week, I have to pack, I have to shop, I have to get my hair done, I have to get my nails done. I'm not going to do it. And I did it. All the time I'm not going to do it, I was doing it. I forgive you. But I really do. I want you to take, I made one, I have 25 over there. I want, Mr. Hardman gave me a laugh that I almost fell off my computer chair. He said that he compared teaching driver's ed to us to being a tail gunner in the Air Corps or wherever. So that gives you an idea what the impression we left on him. And so I want Mr. Hartman to be sure to have one. I want Mrs. Wolf to have one. And then I'd like each of our classmates to have one. And this is just a little piece of me for you to remember.
Okay. I put together an album back in 1987, I think it was, 15 years ago maybe. And anyway, I never thought anybody would want it. And Jerry McLean said he wanted a copy, and Orville said he wanted a copy. Well, I have them. Those are the black albums. I want each one of you to pick them out. They're not in color. They're not nice like Florence's. They're black and white. I also have a directory of everyone's name, address, phone number, email. I also have a little game of how well do you know your old classmates and teachers. And I have something else back there I'll give out to you. You can look it over. And Norman's going to do door prizes.
So you want to imagine? We have 6 door prizes that were brought, and I'm going to just ask you to draw a name. We'll have a relative one first, and it is only the passwords. Okay? Well, he is not paying attention, so we'll just draw another. Randy Manoa. Hey, Randall, I guess since your name is is that what you're going to do? Okay. Let's look at this one. 2, 3. That's the old one. And everything okay. Is this your one? That's
Size large.
That's Rose. This after my name, my husband made that, Rosemary made this, and Bruce made one of these, and I made this basket. And you made the basket. Equal. You make whatever you want. So you can figure out who's there what. The wagon and the wagon and this. Hey, we're not stuck here. Let's go. Whatever you want.
I'm going to kill it.
I want to see them.
about everybody else? Everybody's good?
I have a little allergy because my ears are raw, and I cannot, I'm sure, I cannot understand what some of you are saying, so that gives me difficulty. One thing I might say is that in my experiences in the education system all these years, I've met a lot of teachers. And I'd like to say that when you all graduated high school, you had an excellent group of teachers. And by just looking into that room, the success you've had, it's not hard to tell. So I think you were very fortunate for that. But I'm staying in the educational system in Gilmer County, and I enjoyed it. I retired a little early, and I worked harder after retirement.